G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Something different today, something that I was going to get around to a couple of weeks ago when the FPL season wrapped up, but if you didn't catch it or follow me on Twitter, I did somehow manage to finish second in Australia and 46th in the world in this, which was just ridiculous. It was a lot of fun this season, a lot of late nights, staying up for deadlines. You know, some of them at 2 a.m. and even some at 4 a.m. Obviously, I didn't stay up for them, but with the time zone in the Premier League, it is hard sometimes being on the other side of the world. But it was a great season, good fun watching the Gunners. As you can see, my boys just missed out on top four, which was disappointing, but the season was great. In respect to what has been going on the last couple of years, finishing 7th and 8th and stuff. So, really good young squad, building for the future, which is good to see. Obviously disappointing missing out in the Champions League, but I think club's heading in the right direction, which is a positive. Got my team name there, Aaron Ramsey curse, which if anyone doesn't know, back in like 2013, when Aaron Ramsey was at the top of his game, pretty much scoring every single week. There was a curse, a pretty stupid curse, mind you, but I was, about 15 at the time, thinking it was pretty weird that every time Ramsey scored, a really big celebrity of some sort passed away, like moments after or within a day later. It was really weird, but anyway, look it up if you're interested. But nonetheless, I don't really know where I'm going with this video, but a few people have been requesting just to have a look at how the season went, what my team was looking like, what chips I used at what time, and just pretty much a quick review. Try not to go for too long, maybe 10 minutes or so. And then, there's only a few weeks, I think, until the game will open up again for the next season. And I'll probably be making a video here or there for that. Obviously, continue the Supercoach stuff. But, once the buys are done with Supercoach, it sort of starts to die down a bit. And there's not much you can do as far as once your team's finished. Just, there'll be talking points still every week. But, you're just sort of sitting on your thumbs and waiting to maybe trade an injury or something like that later in the year. So I'll be doing some FPL videos. I'll probably start to do some NFL ones as well. Sports Deck have a game over there. So I won't waste any more time. We'll start with my game week 1 team and what that looked like. There was a bit of a template going early on as to who to have, and I think Trent was a non-negotiable for me and many others. Simicast I started with because Robbo went down with an injury in the pre-season. Luke Shaw was massively owned, and that turned out to be a pretty poor selection, but he was so highly owned it didn't hurt too much. Obviously, Mo Salah was a non-negotiable. Grealish, I went for a bit of a point of difference at the start of the season, just signing for City. He was playing early. He did go out of my side pretty soon after, but I think he got a goal and assist in the first 2 or 3 rounds, or game weeks, so he was okay. Mason Greenwood was a great selection, actually, at the early parts of the season. I opted to go for him and Heung-min Son, as you can see, over Bruno Fernandes. I'm not always the biggest fan of Bruno, so he did start week 1 with a hat-trick, and I was thinking, oh, God, I've stuffed up here, but he didn't have anywhere near to one of his great seasons that he's had in the past, so that was all right. Harvey Barnes, a bit of a point of difference as well, who turned out to be massive for people at the end of the season, but he didn't do much early. And then the forwards, Antonio and Ings was very common. Antonio started it like a house on fire, and Danny Ings, I think, scored in the first 3 game weeks, and then he sort of petered off then, and I transferred him out. So that was a pretty template team. What I scored, 91 in the first game week, or overall rank, I guess, of about 1 million. So it was pretty standard. It was a high scoring week to start with. Obviously, Mo Salah was the captain. You'll see that a lot when I get to the FPL optimizer. There is a website I'll probably go to in a second to show some stats of the season. But that was the first game week 1 team. I'll probably just point out some good weeks that I had here. So as I said, started at 1 millionth. The second week was actually a good week. I guess we'll quickly show that. I was 100,000th game week rank, and if you're basically inside the top 1 million each game week, or any given game week, you're going to see a rise. So, there's 9 million that play this game. If you're inside the top million, maybe even 1.5 million on a game week rank specifically, you'll probably see a rise. Obviously, it depends where you're ranked as well, of course. But 120k rank for a game week, you're going to see a massive rise, and that rose me, I think, to 200,000th. So, Simicast got an assist, I believe, that game. Greenwood scored again. Grealish scored. Antonio and Ings, they started amazingly. So the template sort of was pretty common and did do well at the start of the season. So if you didn't have it, you probably had to switch quickly and get, an Antonio or something like that if you went without him. I'll quickly go to the next game week because I believe this is when, I got in Ben Rama. So Ben Rama was the one that I missed at the start. He had a great start to the season. I got him in after I think he scored a goal and then a brace in the first 2 game weeks. I got him in, sort of as that sort of cancel out the point of difference that other people had against me. I just wanted, to get him. Also, he was rising in price, but he did peter off pretty quickly after that. It was, didn't need to really get on board, but tried to cover off there. So, and I got Eric Dyer for Simicast as well, but I won't spend too much on every single game week. We'll go down to just some other good ones. I think the big one was game week 7 when I popped my wild card. So getting in, it was game week 8, sorry. Game week 8. I was going to do it game week 7. I think a lot of people did it game week 7 actually and got Lukaku. I just transferred Lukaku in that week. But in game week 8, I did pop the wild card. Chelsea had a turn of fixtures, so did City. And I just wanted to attack those. So I got triple Chelsea. I actually probably should have got triple City at the time. I got another defender there. But I opted to get Lukaku, and it just sort of sapped a bit of money out of my squad, so you couldn't really do it. But the big one is Chilwell and James. Chilwell, I think he scored and assisted on the first game week. I got him game week 8, so got a goal, clean sheet, 3 bonus. So he was massive first week. But then the big week that really propelled me was the one after, and that was 33,000th game week rank, which is massive. And large in part to the Chelsea defenders as well. So they both scored. This was the week, you remember probably the Norwich week. They played Norwich, won 7-0. Everyone had Havertz sort of as captain. I stuck with Mo Salah, and he scored a hat-trick against United, and that was a big swing in points. Chilwell and James both scored as well in that game. And then Foden scored a brace as well in City. I think it was against Brighton. So massive week for me there. That just shot me straight up to the top. If we look back here, game week 8, so it was the game week 9, sorry, 33,000. Shot me from 16k, so I was already pretty highly ranked, but straight into like the top 2k, and I was like, oh crap, it's week 8 here. I've probably got to start taking this game super serious now that I'm up at this rank. So sort of had a couple of decent game weeks there, few in the millions. I was starting to drop a bit down to sort of that 2000th rank. Didn't really make any ground, and then in game week 18. Just went bang again, and this was funny because I actually did my transfers early. I think it was a Saturday night deadline, and I was out, and I went to, I can't remember who I transferred out, but I went and got Conor Gallagher because they, I think, had a good couple of fixtures coming up, and he was mysteriously out, and we got early news of that, injured I think or something, or maybe it was COVID around this time, and so I was like, oh crap, I've already transferred him in, I've wasted that transfer, but then we had Leeds that week, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get Gabby Martinelli. I think he scored the week previous, got him in for a Leeds game that was good, so I actually had to take another -4, which wasn't always the best move, but it paid off. He scored a brace, three bonus points, and scored a 15-pointer, which was huge. And then, as you can see, captaining Cancelo against Mo that week for whatever reason. I think they had Newcastle. Newcastle weren't going very great at the time. This is before they even got bought out by the oil money. But he went bang, scored a goal, 18-pointer as captain, and when pretty much majority went Salah for the season, it was a huge rank boost. So that was 2000th game week rank for the week alone, which was stupid. And that just shot me straight up from, where are we? 2000th into 200th and 223rd. So that was one of my more massive weeks. And then just really was always, pretty much in the top million. So just sort of kept holding my spot, because at that high rank, you do have to be probably higher than in the top million. You probably got to be top 500,000 every week to hold. And then in game week 27 is when I had another massive week. In retrospect, 80,000th for the game week, and that was my free hit. So that was my first free hit played. Didn't really nail it in the end. It probably could have been better than it was. City, you had to triple City this week. Game week 27, I think they had Everton, and it didn't pay off at all. I had Foden in my actual team. I free hitted him out and got Sterling and Mahrez thinking they'd play. I think Mahrez came off the bench. Sterling did play but didn't score. They only won 1-0, I believe, and Cancelo got the assist, I think. So, yeah, and Foden scored, which is the funny part, and I free hit him out, so it wasn't the best. Got Kulu in. This is just when he came across from Spurs. The captain's son got Kane, so it was good. Livramento got me good points there. Shah on the bench, that would have been nice, but that was good for the game week. But that's always expected when you free hit in not a very popular free hit week. I don't think it was a massively popular week to free hit, so you should expect a rank rise. So that was game week 27. And then a lot of people around this sort of time, I think they wild-carded when Wolves got a good couple of fixtures. I went back to my original team and I transferred in Kai Havertz, which was just funny. They had a double. This is when a double started to pile up every week, and I think it was Newcastle and Burnley, I believe. So going game week 28, Burnley and Norwich. So he scored a brace in the Burnley game and scored a goal and assist in the Norwich game and just went massive. It would have been a really, really good week. It was only 300,000th this week, especially with a captain like that. Reece James went nuts. But there was Rafinha and Coutinho had good doubles as well. I didn't didn't transfer either of them in, so it was a bit risky. But Coutinho went massive as well. I think he scored 25, or almost the same as Havertz, and a lot of people captained him, which sort of stopped me from going up further in the ranks. So that was one of my other good weeks. If we keep going down, sort of just from there, hovered in sort of the top 100. Had a bit of a bad spell, a few high millionths ranks, very poor weeks here. Dropped out to 380 first, and then in game week 33, another double game week, I believe, came back and got some of my rank back, which was good with my bench boost. So I was saving my bench boost for a long time. I didn't really know when I wanted to use it. This popped up as a good week, and look, I got lucky, no doubt, with a few clean sheets. The midfielders didn't do as well, and the forwards didn't score as many goals as you'd like, but on the bench you can see Dubravka got an 8-pointer. I mean, he had a double, so you sort of expect decent score from a keeper in a double. Laporte got a clean sheet. Dennis scored, and honestly, that was so lucky. He hadn't done much for ages. What is this, game week 33? Game week 33 he scores. He hadn't scored it in almost 2 months, so, I mean, to finish where I did, obviously you had to have some luck, but it just all seemed to be going my way this season. So 115, that was 7,000th for the round. And that got me straight sort of back to where I was before previously in the top 100. And then last few weeks wasn't too great here. And then the last week I had my second free hit saved, and I used that, went for some sort of point of difference moves with, Havertz and Mane on this final day. Had to captain Son, as most did. Vardy, Kane, Maddison. So it turned out good. 91 points, 90,000th for the round, and it got me from, what was I, like 200th, I think? No, 95th to 46th, and finished the season 46 in the world. So total transfers used, I actually don't know. It doesn't say there, so we can count them up. Hits used, sorry, through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I almost took a hit every week at the end there, but about 17 hits throughout the season. As you can see, when I used, wildcard game week 8, the second wildcard game week 23, triple captain. I didn't even look at that week, but this was a pretty common week. Everyone triple captained Salah in game week 26. Had Bruno for that 1 week and a few other players, but so look, all in all, you can see my history here. I played previously to that, but I never even bothered finishing the season. It's just such a drag, and I've experienced that this year for sure. But this season, I think I went to Greece midway. I just gave up on that season. Last season as well, I'm pretty sure I gave up about game week 20, something like that. Didn't really look at it. Came back maybe and looked at it, wild carded for a week or two, and then just really gave it up. It is very hard to follow, especially overseas, but. As you can see, 4th Arsenal fan, 2nd Australia, and 46 overall. So that's the team, and going through the weeks. Quickly look at this FPL review website. I know I said I was going to do 10 minutes, but that was obviously never going to happen. And this tells you, if you've just put in your team ID at the top, it tells you basically your best team, or the players you've got the points from the most during the season. So I mean, my keeper's very low. You normally see that higher because you'd probably keep a keeper for most of the season, but I think I had about 3 or 4 keepers throughout the year. Trent, obviously, Reece James, obviously I timed him very, well to other people. He was being a nightmare for most. I just got lucky with when I owned him, obviously on the wild card, and then bring him back in later on in the season. So I got 120 points from him. Cancelo, I probably could have got more. If you go back to my wild card, the first one in Game Week 8, I went Diaz over him, and that really did hurt me for a bit. I had to find a way to get Cancelo in. It took me about a month to get him. I think he had a great game against United in the derby, a couple of assists, and I didn't own him, and I was just thinking, damn, I should have gone him over Diaz, but that was a poor move at the time. Salah, of course. Look, I captained him. It says here, the caps, and I captained him 18 times for 477 points for the season. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Another great season from him. Saka was good. I owned him for most of the year. Sonny really not hurt me, but he did hurt me in the end. I owned him a lot in the first half of the season. I didn't get him back in for the last 2 months, and he went absolutely nuts. And I don't want to look at the stats or try and figure out if I did do the Salah to Son move where I would have finished. Obviously, it would have been a lot higher. But I don't want to even look at it because if I might have won doing that, I don't want to know. But he was unreal for the last couple of months to ensure Spurs got that Champions League spot. So I've always loved Sonny, even as an Arsenal fan. He's an unreal player. Foden, I just had a stupid affection with. Always had him on my side, even when he wasn't going too great. And then Kev was a big one. I actually should go back. I didn't look at that second to last week, or Game Week 36 actually, when he went absolutely stupid and I captained him. So, this was this was only 280,000 for the week, which is still great, obviously. Whoops. But I captained him and he scored 4 goals against Wolves, which was just stupid. But, it was a massive scoring week, scored 137. Some people, as you can see, the highest, 225. So, we'll go back to this, quickly have a look. The forwards, they were terrible this season. Antonio's my best, who I didn't own past Game Week 6, I think, which is just ridiculous. And then Kane, who I did have more than Son, and that probably was the end factor of probably keeping me from going higher in the ranks. But he just didn't hit as much as Sonny did towards the back end. So we'll see what happens next year with the forwards, but they were very poor this year. And then we finish it off with Sanchez as my next best keeper. Chilwell, just for his sort of month that he had for me, that was huge. Ronaldo there, I had for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, not long. And then Robbo as well. There's so many stats you can look at here. I don't really know what I wanted to show, but the luck factors, how they've, sort of expected points versus actual points. And as you can see, De Bruyne, especially that captaincy, would just have shot that number up. Havertz, for when I timed him, other people had him captaincy against Norwich, he didn't score, and then I bring him in for he had a great month in my side. Chilwell, James, stuff like that. So you can see the players that did well for me. There's a lot going on here. It shows you your whole picks over the season. It's just a lot of data, but total key events, clean sheet, goal, assist. This is just every week by week. You can see what you got. So let's just sort it by total. 1 week I had Game Week 9, 8 goals from my players. James, Chilwell. That was the week. Yeah, that was the week that everyone went Kai Havertz. So one of those massive weeks. And then 36 as well when Kevin scored 4. So a couple of 8-goal weeks from all your players. Just good to see. It's just so many stats here. See your success rate on how many clean sheets versus picks and what you had during the season. So 37% for goal and clean sheet hit rate across the season. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, timings of ownership, there's just a lot of data here. So I guess pause it if you want to have a look, or you can chuck your own one in. This one's funny. This is predicted versus the realised performance. So based on what I did or what the players, I don't really know how they work it out, but where I should have been ranked or what should have happened compared to what actually happened, which is just stupid. So it was plus 250 or probably more, plus 300 on what total points on what I what was expected, which there you go, 316 point whatever that is. So that's the game. You got to probably look at everyone's that's highly ranked around me or whatever that did well, and the luck thing would probably be sky high for everyone. So that's with this result, you should finish top over 100 overall, and that's exactly what happened. So, I'll definitely be doing some videos on on FPL next season. Thanks for watching. Want to quickly look at this as well. I'll just scroll through so you can maybe pause it. But yeah, definitely do some videos of next season, some preseason stuff, what I'm thinking with the starting team. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.
Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like pulling out the coupe at the lot.